This narration is for educational purposes only. It is not buy or sell recommendations. Good evening, fellow ESH traders. Welcome to the new year. We're back at it. Took a little time off. It's been nice. Hope everyone had a good Christmas. Let's get into it. So start with my microcomposite candlestick chart. I was just going through and setting the levels up for tomorrow. So for the new viewers, you see these little yellow boxes. Each candle represents a day of RTH. And putting a volume profile, compiling these days together, 2, 4, 6, 7 trading days, creates a volume profile, and out of that we have the microcomposite VPOC, which is the volume point of control. It's the highest volume traded within that set of days. So these are the areas that we want to look at because it's a high volume node within these days. So you also have what's called a naked VPOC, which when price left, like this day in particular, this green line is the naked VPOC. So for just this day, the highest volume point of control was here. So we want to mark that because those are the areas that we want to keep an eye out. If price ventures back to it, typically that's like the mean of that day. So if we trade back into it, that's what we need to look for, because then at that point we'll do outside in trading. So we'll get below it, get above it, and there's a good chance we'll come back to check it. And then if we get into a mean reversion where we're trading above it, come back, check it, maybe drop below it, those are potential opportunities to trade one way. But we know that was the fair price for that day or multiple days. So we have microcomposite, multiple days, naked volume, point of control, just one day. And then over here we have our composite high volume nodes and low volume nodes. This is the composite profile, and that is generating all the trading volume back to like 2009 or something. And there's different strategies in there that you can use. Same thing, it's just fractal based. It's all fractals, or Russian dolls, as Tom B says. So we have our levels, microcomposites, naked VPOCs. Let's see, what else? This is, I already set up for tomorrow, but this was today's trading day. So we kind of opened higher from, what was that? Last week's opener. Was it last week? The 31st? Tuesday. So Tuesday we opened above where we closed, so we're opening high inside of range, and that does show some strength for longs, but overall trend we're still closing red. So my thesis going into the trading day would be finding shorts for that reason. High inside of range, 94% chance that will touch or break through overnight high or low, 85% chance of overnight VPOC, 78% chance of overnight mid, 74% chance overnight high. Now having those targets, let's see. So that was our ETH high, which we opened, I guess, yeah, we opened pretty far below it. So let's see where the overnight VPOC was. I think it already reset, but those are the things I'd be looking at, where if you have more targets above and you're kind of close to it, there's a good chance we'll rotate up and then continue down. But it's all random. We don't know. We just go off statistics of what we have here. And we had a 51% chance of overnight low, and we took that out. So there's the overnight low. We took it out, but that was only a 50% chance. So I mean, it's nothing's 100%, but statistically have a higher chance of this or that, and that's what we go with. We take stops. Everyone takes stops. So for me, like I said, just the overall context trend going down. Even though we did kind of open above our close from Tuesday, I'm still towards the downside. So let's see what we got. I'm in Central Standard Time again, so we have our 8:30 RTH open. So I'm looking for shorts. I'm looking to get short, which we have our sellers here take over. Find support, find some liquidity down here for the buyers. Buyers take over. So we break above VPOX, and now we're approaching a mean reversion. Let's see what we get. Come back, test VPOG. So this is interesting. We have buyers met sellers here. Sellers took over, and we test that area again. So it doesn't really give you an opportunity to get in. Not trade recommendation, but we're looking for triggers and pullback, and then that could be, if you're a little aggressive, you can see that as a trigger, pullback, retest this area. Now you'd think we'd break above, but if you're looking for a short, we kind of zoom into the microstructure. This is quick. I mean, you got to be finger on the key, on the hotkeys right here, if you're wanting to short this. That's the kind of stuff I look for, is trigger. I mean, I'm going to be kind of sitting back for a little bit, and this is 30-second intervals, so that's a fast trade. But we're looking to be patient. Overall context, are we in alignment with what actually is happening? Let's see what it does. So if we test that, so now we kind of have our label this high volume area here. Make sure I get it right there. Oh yeah, I did label the variable high volume node. As these adjust, I'm gonna, it must have been from something else. So we break below VPOG. I'll label that. So I'm not no entry yet. I mean, that could be another aggressive or VPOG moving around on me, but it's weird. So don't trade the middle. I'm marking these little consolidation distribution areas because there's a good chance later in the trading day we go back, and if we're below it, it may act as resistance. So if there's confluence to get risk on and sell this, then that would be an area of observation. Same thing here. I'm going to label this. So still no entry for me. Now this could have been, you know, a mean reversion, but not the short. Short would be up here, right there. VWAP to VPOC. Because if we're in mean reversion, what's to say we just can't break through and keep going like we did. So potential short here. Not trade recommendation, but it's a 5-point scale. It's pretty good. Even if you got risk neutral, depending on your trade plan, but you could have had your stop up here and you would have been stopped out. So let's label this area here too. And I'm hitting right there. This is the high volume of this particular distribution. So it's almost like this VPOC, volume point of control, but in a smaller fractal. VPOC is session. This is chart VPOC. We call it chart VPOC. So this is from earlier. Break through. See, we kind of do a mean reversion, find support. Now if we go, and these high volume nodes are good when you have an impulsive move right after. So we already got this labeled from earlier, and it kind of moved off of there. And let's see, we have our variable high volume node, which came back to check that price. Is this too high? It turns out this is too high. Now I wouldn't be shorting this unless I had our micro composite, which we came to. We're approaching the IB, so I'm kind of, that would be my next step, is where's the IB at? Is it going to be an IBF or let's see what the IB was. Let's see. Okay, our IB's up there, way up there, 59.85. Oh yeah, high RTH. Okay, so that would be something to look at, which is still 30 minutes out, or 15 minutes. All right, so here's our IB. So at this point, we're looking, what do we got going on? And we got some sell sweeps, which usually that means a rotation back up. It can mean that. Alright, so we have our IB. Break below. So this is offering more context too. Now we're kind of trending down. So now we're still looking for entry to get short. VPOC migration. So here we have another VWAP to VPOC. So that would have been a good one. Not a trade recommendation, but kind of broke through to the mid. So depending on your trade plan, that might have been a stop. But being that the mid was right there, you could have had the stop a little bit above that, but now you're looking at, if you got in right at VWAP, that's 56. That would have been a stop for me for sure. Another opportunity here. And we're getting back down to BPOC. That's a 10 point, so that's even better risk to reward. So that would have been not trade recommendation, but 10 points. I mean, 56. Yeah, that's a good trade. 10 points. So even on a 2 lot, is that 1,000? Yeah. 100. So you would have taken a stop here, 2 points. That would have been 200, so 800. Not trade recommendation. I mean, that's a scale, and then hold a runner. So back in mean reversion. Now some people might take this long after we kind of find a balance here, but it's always the question, where do you get in? Is it the bottom? Is it the outside edge of this mean reversion? Those are difficult to pick, but something to look at. Yeah, at what point do we break out of this range? Still decent. Take it. Taking a stop. Come back, test this area. Now this is a composite volume, high volume node. This is over. This is from a micro composite that we traded into already, so then it turns into a composite high volume node. Oh yeah, and 60, that was a important area last week, Tuesday. And could be something to observe. We got mid back to VPOC again. And see, it's kind of rotational. We're outside to VPOC and break below. Now we're Acapulco cliff dive here. That's pretty much the high volume here. So that's kind of like the chart volume profile VPOC. It's confusing, I know. But you can see, like I said, that VPOC up there, I was saying, like if the VWAP was here, then that's fractal. We're in a smaller fractal of what the same thing's going on. We're dancing around the highest point of volume of this distribution, outside in. So nothing for entry for me here. And a VPOC migration. And that's it. Alright guys. Have a good year this year. See you tomorrow.